we're struggling with inflation. They just need that extra help. And a lot of them don't want to get stuck in that rent hamster wheel where they're paying rent and then it goes up again. And then they just feel like they can't get ahead. And
Yeah.
that's a really tough spot to be in.
Everybody, it's Kathy Byrnes here with Real Estate Riches. And man, I've got some solutions for people who think they can't get a mortgage in this market. We can. And my two guests here today are going to help us. That's Stephanie with Top Flite Home Loans and Lindsey with EXP and Top Flite. So we get two for the price of one. So, hey guys.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Yes. Well, I wanted to have you on here because Lindsay and I were talking the other day, and she was saying, so many people don't have any idea that they can actually get loans, and we've got some incredible programs. And I said, well, then let's have you on here. Let's talk about this and connect with you. Now, the first thing I want to do is say, Lindsay, you're both an EXP realtor and you're a lender. You combine the both, right?
Yes, I do. I combine both of them. I've been a real estate agent first, but got into the loan business a few years back, really to drive value and help my clients more, with their day to day, whether it's their investment property or it's their home. So
Right. That's great. And so through that process, you met Stephanie at Top Flight. Stephanie, what's your last name?
It's Gates.
Gates. Oh, that was a short, easy one. Okay, good. So you're at Top Flight. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, some of these programs or how you solve different problems for people who think they can't get loans.
I mean, every situation is different. If they're first-time home buyers, they're renting, they think, I don't have any money, I don't have the down payment, my credit's not good enough, I need to have my credit at 800, not 700 or 640, that it's just not possible. And we have a solution. We have down payment assistance, we have USDA, we have minimal VA, FHA, all minimal down payments. We're approved with the North Carolina Down Payment Assistance Program, which has a 3% down payment, and they also do a $15,000 second. So we have clients that think that they don't have the high enough credit score. They think they need a 720, 740, 800, and we go as low as 580 on government. Down payment assistance, we only need a 640, and the down payment assistance can give them the down payment plus the closing costs with the North Carolina Down Payment Assistance Program. It is such a great program, and we've helped a lot of people with that.
Wow,
But
that's awesome.
don't forget. So there's something also unique that Top Flight actually has that kind of caught my eye and I think catches the eye of some other agents out there are those renters who aren't quite ready for like an FHA loan. Maybe maybe they have the payment, but they don't have their credit score. We do have something that's unique called the Dream Saver program, which is like a rent to own.
Mm,
Um, Years ago, people and some realtors that are on here might have had Landis and some other I think it was Homes of America,
mhm.
did something similar and they got phased out. And so that there's actually a program that we have at Top Flight that actually has a place in that program for some of these other players that left the market. So if there's realtors out there who are struggling and are like, man, I really like that program, like that helped my clients, like we can help you.
Yeah, that's great to know because I remember that program and
Mhm.
I used to promote it a lot because that was how they got their foot in the door. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really was because we were able to get somebody, right, to like buy the house in cash, right? And then they had like a 12-month commitment to kind of get themselves situated and they had to put down their payment, but then they were making their payments. And then once they got their credit ready, they were able to like repurchase the property back. And it's a very similar program like that. And I encourage more realtors to reach out to us. We can go in
Yeah.
deep. We can help educate their clients, especially right now when we're in a place where the market has changed.
Right.
We have a lot of struggling families out there, people who don't think that they can get their foot through the door. We're struggling with inflation. They just need that extra help. And a lot of them don't want to get stuck in that rent hamster wheel where they're paying rent, and then the next it goes up and then it goes up again. And then they just feel like they
Mhm.
can't get ahead. And
Yeah.
that's a really tough spot to be in.
Yeah. I've been there. So what area, Stephanie, are you guys in?
We have an office in downtown Hickory, but we cover the full state of North Carolina.
Okay. Do you go outside of North Carolina at all?
A branch is approved in Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and California.
Okay. In California, you jumped all the way over there. Wow, that was great. Is that because of you, Lindsay, and your pull over there?
Actually, it's not just me. Stephanie is
It's me
also a
too.
Californian.
Yes,
Oh,
we're both
wow,
from
that was smart.
California. Yeah.
Well, that was because you got ties over there, so you just kind of spread it in. Well, that's
Hmm.
important to have these other states because we get people watching this video from all over. And so, could somebody who was in a state that you didn't list say, "Hey, you think you could work over here?" Are you able to do something like that where you somehow get licensed? I know different companies can license up.
So we can get licensed in any states that our corporate is approved in, as long as we meet the guidelines for that particular state. If we get a referral for a state that we are currently not licensed in ourselves, we have a referral program. So we could submit the ticket. It goes to the loan officer that's approved in that state, and then they can help the client out.
Oh,
And
great.
I
So,
think we're approved in like 42 states. So
oh,
we're approved all the way across.
Yeah,
And
we're
we have a
yeah.
great,
practically
we have a
nationwide.
great referral program.
Well, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so give me some examples of who you've helped recently without saying names, of course, but situations. Lindsay.
We have a hot one we can talk about. It just closed yesterday.
Okay.
So I can speak because I wear my realtor hat and I wear my loan officer hat. And this is a perfect example of why it is so awesome to do both. I was helping a couple that is relocating from Arizona. They decided to go with a preferred lender from a new construction home builder, which I did honestly push them towards. As you know, Kathy, they can deliver a lot of incentives that often sometimes, companies like Top Flight can't match.
Sure.
Um, in this instance, that wasn't necessarily the case.
Mm.
So there wasn't that many incentives necessarily connected to the preferred lender. I think they ended up having to put a little less down, but it wasn't anything really substantial. Anyway, we're getting close to the finish line. We are literally 12 days out. And this lender was asking them to sell a house that they didn't originally say that they had to sell, or possibly pay off a house that loan amount that they had lingering out there, saying that it was like an FHA HUD requirement, that, oh my gosh, the government is shut down right now. We can't get a hold of FHA. We can't get a hold of HUD. And so, as you can imagine, that gives a lot of anxiety to somebody who's been under contract, who's been having a house built for them for several months. And it's like, wait, blindsided, you never even ever mentioned this before. So luckily, I've been in the game for a while. I was like, that doesn't smell right. And Stephanie said the similar thing, like, wait, I don't understand why that would be a problem. And lo and behold, we're like, look, it's not a problem. We don't want to talk any type of trash about so and so, but we know that we can do it. So long story short, we were able to close it in 10 days.
Wow.
10 days, we were able to close an FHA loan. We threw a Hail Mary. The clients closed yesterday and were able to move in their stuff, and they stayed overnight in their house. And the whole time I'm like, just have faith. I go, in me. We're able to quarterback this the whole way. And I will say that having the oversight and also having the realtor relationship
Mm.
helped that process move so much more smoothly and quickly. There were documents that I had to gather really quickly, and being able, as a realtor, you've already built that relationship. So they trust you, and you're
Yeah.
saying,
Hmm.
hey, I need this, bank statement, and I need this copy of this check. And he's like popping him off. He's like, just get me the house. Like, my kids are packed up. So it was a really good save. And we use that as an FHA. Like, there's a ton of borrowers out there that use FHA conventional loans. They're nothing like, I don't want to say super unique, because there's something that most realtors are familiar with and loan officers are, but we do have so many other unique products. Like right now we are doing 2 refinances right now for clients who own their properties cash, like they own them outright, and so they're doing cash out refis through in their investment properties. So they're doing them as DSCR loans, and they're able to take out cash, and then with that cash they're able to turn around and either repair the properties that they have or add on to the properties that they have. I have one that is going to be actually using some of those funds to buy more property,
Wow.
and using that cash out from that one investment property to divide it and put it as down payments towards 2 others. So We do a lot and we can help a lot of different people out. So we can do investment loans. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't realize that they can take cash out of their investments, but you can. And
Well,
those
I
are just a
didn't
few.
I didn't know that you could do a refi. Usually I have to go to a bank, don't I, for the refinance? No, you can go to a
Mhm.
lender for refinance.
Mhm.
It's the equity line of credit, right? So, but you just had them refi so that they could get the funds out. And even though the rate may have been higher and it may not have been on that older loan, they just saw the ability to have that cash as an opportunity to actually just do more business, right?
Well, yeah, and to grow
Correct.
their portfolio, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
especially with this one investor, he's had it, he purchased it in cash. He has a long-term tenant in there. He had already done some upfit on the building that he had. It's a little residential house. So for him, what was really important is like if I'm going to take out a loan, I just want to make sure that the rent that I'm currently getting pays the mortgage and some. And I
Yeah.
said, sure, I can do that for you. And he was like, are you serious? And I'm like, I'm so serious. So he's at a point that even though maybe the interest rate is higher, because like, let's be honest, if you literally owned a property cash outright, right? Like you don't have any interest that you're paying. That
Right.
could be a little bit of a jump, like a lot of a jump, right? Like I'm not
Yeah.
paying anything now, I'm paying 7% or 6.5%. But even though there was a little bit higher interest rate, the mortgage payment was still substantially low. So just in this case scenario, like he decided, even though we were able to give him more cash, he decided to actually take less cash out because he wanted to keep that payment low
Mm.
on it. And so I think at the end of the day, he's getting $400 over what his mortgage payment is still. So that's still
Wow.
quite a great buffer. And now he's able to take that cash, go buy other properties, plug in other renters, have similar loans with payment. Lower mortgage payments, and then get renters in there who are paying above to generate more income. So now he instead of one income stream, he has three.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that mindset. And because you're a realtor, you can help him think through things. And I think you're an investor too. So you just you know a lot of different angles. That's great. Do people need to come in to meet with you guys when or they don't, you can just do it over Zoom?
We
We can do
can.
Zoom, yeah, Zoom, office, internet, email, text.
Wow, love this. So you're making it really easy. And that's why I really wanted to have you guys on here, just to kind of help agents realize that this is great content to educate your clients about. And I see you, Lindsay, doing content all the time as far as this goes. And that's kind of how, we just started talking a couple weeks ago. And I said, I think I need you on the podcast here to help these people understand there's opportunities. And ideally, they come and work with you guys. However, just helping agents start thinking bigger, start thinking you've got to educate your clients and not go all doomsday. Yeah, the rates are high and I hope they come down too. No, you have to be proactive. And that's clearly what Top Flight's doing and you guys.
You couldn't have said it better, Kathy. And I think what you're going to find with Stephanie and I is that we're really solutions oriented.
Hmm.
So you can come with us with a quote unquote problem, right? Like the one that nobody else can do, the loan that somebody shot down or like, oh, you don't want to deal with that or move along. And we've all been there on the
Hmm.
realtor side of things. Like you've talked to a lender and they're like, we just can't do it. And they'll give you something like, oh, their credit score is bad or they don't have enough money or there's always the like red flag items. But we see that as a challenge that we can overcome. And because we have so many other loan products, we're able to give those
Find a
solutions.
solution. Yeah.
Well, and that's, the truth is most realtors don't quite understand mortgages themselves. So, I
So
mean,
true.
I don't. So, and I don't want to personally. But that is an interesting point that I want to bring up with you. So, you've decided to wear two hats here. So, tell us about your choices on that.
Yeah, sure. So, as many people know, I am a realtor with EXP. Part of the desire to join EXP was the ability to have multiple revenue streams of income. And so, for me, I have a 3-year-old little girl, and it's all about building and leaving behind a legacy for her.
Hmm.
And what I've been doing this grind as a realtor broker for a long time, and I realized early on that I could sell a bunch of houses and property, but that's what I had to keep doing to fuel the machine.
Hmm.
Um, I think what the catalyst for change for me did come with for me having like an injury that actually let me not show property, which is where ultimately I was like, how do I drive more value to my clients? And also I had a situation where I had really good relationships with loan officers who just left the business. And I think with the market changes, that's true of a lot of people who have
Hmm.
just left the business. And I actually said to Stephanie just today when I told somebody else about our save that we had yesterday and that 10-day closing, I said, I never thought anybody would replace my Rhea. And I have a loan officer that I've loved and I worked with for years, Rhea, but she got out of the business about a year ago. And I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna find somebody that crushes it. And I gotta say, I have. It's Stephanie Gates. Like she helped me do it. But the reason why I say that is because you're able to get a glimpse and quarterback your loans and your transactions. There's nothing more frustrating as a realtor when you are working with a loan officer and you're giving them trust. Like you both have to have this mutual trust that you're going to do your job over there and make sure their finances are legit. And I'm going to make sure that, this is buttoned up and we're not going to get them into something that's potentially super risky. They're not going to lose money in due diligence money or earnest money. But nobody wants to say, oh, get kind of blindsided by, oh, it turns out that they're actually like not divorced yet. What?
Oh,
What? Because I've seen that come up on a transaction. I honestly, this real story had a guy, he was already engaged to another woman. He had been divorced, or so he thought, was divorced for 8 years. And they were in the process, they were literally in the middle of a transaction trying to purchase on another house. And the loan officer says, hey, do you have the divorce decree? Because we don't have it. So then they did it and then they checked like whether it was filed. Turns out the divorce decree was never filed. It was
oh,
signed, but never filed.
oh my gosh. My gosh.
So long story short,
Oh,
and it was supposed to be in Virginia, and this is a North Carolina transaction. We did save that transaction. He did end up buying his house. He was able to consult his ex-wife, and iron it all out. But it was like that is the
That had
worst
been,
case scenario. And it's not just for the realtor, right? It's for the family. They're in panic. He's 8 years, he's already got children with somebody else. He's planned a whole life with somebody else. And this poor man he's news to me. And meanwhile, there was actually another lender who had actually won't be named, had closed them on new construction and had actually missed it.
whoo, oh my.
Had actually missed it. The house that actually he was selling one house and he was getting ready to close on the other. So they had missed it. He goes, "How did I buy the other house?" And we're like, "Well, that I can't ask you, but let's just say bless."
Yeah.
Like
Holy cow.
so like I said, like nobody wants to have that thing. I like to quarterback it. I like to make sure that my ducks are in a row, that my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. And also in terms of not just getting it over the finish line, and it ends up being a great experience for
Right.
the customer. You know what I mean? It's seamless because they have built that trust. So I got into doing loans to help that guide the purpose for my client, but I also got in it to increase my revenue streams, right?
Sure.
So in a time where we've have market volatility, where there's been a downturn in the market, I'm going to quote Leo Pereira, and I might get it wrong, but he literally, I think, said something like, if you're doing 80% of the business that you did last year, but the market is down 30%, you're actually like doubling the business that you did last year. So like look ahead. And I think, you know what, that really resonated with me
Me
because
too.
I am not different than any other realtor. Like I have seen business that has not gone through for a variety of reasons this year. Listings that didn't sell, that sat longer than they should. Maybe some were priced. Buyers who just walked away for a variety of reasons because maybe they weren't burnt out, or they didn't. It was just the instability of the market and the
Yeah.
economy. So they just walked away, not
Nervous.
because they didn't have a pre-approval, not because they weren't qualified. It was too much uncertainty for them. And so when I say that, you're able to increase or make up for that difference as a realtor and maybe the drop of your business that you've seen on the real estate side. And that's what it's done for me. But in addition to that, like I've also am able to grow this business as a loan officer. So I'm able to help inspire, attract other realtors to do it and also help them make money as well.
Yes. So you're getting the additional income stream with being the lender, but
Mhm.
you're also building your EXP organization. So you're building your legacy there, and you're doing regular everyday sales just like all the rest of us. So,
Well, and I'm building my legacy at Top Flight.
oh, are you
Yes.
saying there's a organizational chart there as well?
There is an ability to make additional income off of other people that you attract to Top Flight.
Well, I did not know that. That's very interesting. I've been wondering why other agents have been joining mortgage situations like this. So I didn't know that Top Flight had that. You want to address that a little, Stephanie?
Sure. So we have a dual agency program that we offer to realtors that are interested in getting their NMLS license and doing loans and making the extra income. We will assist with pre-approvals, train them how to be a loan officer, each program, how to look at the credit, how to look at the income, what programs are best fit for their clients. So we assist them through the whole pre-approval process, during the loan process, more or less kind of let's get your client in, let's get them pre-approved, let's get them approved, let's get their loan docs out, let's get it closed, and then they get their commission on it for closing the loan as well. But they do have to be licensed, so they have to have their NMLS. But yeah, I do a full training program on how to be a loan officer, how to pre-approve a client, what programs look the best, what to look for when you're looking at their income.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to put them on a path, fix their credit? So we have different options and stuff, but I like to train. I've been in the business a long time, so I'm very knowledgeable as far as programs and what needs to be fixed on clients' credit, their income. We have so many weird non-qualified programs. If we need to use bank statements, if we,
Mm.
as Lindsay stated earlier, we have debt service loans for investors where we're not using their income, we're using the rental income on the property
Yeah.
to qualify. So we have asset depletion. We have a lot of different programs. So I like to speak with the different clients and help the loan officers teach them because we're all learning something every day because every scenario is different. And there's millions of programs out there, hundreds of investors that we work with daily. So it's a lot of fun to train.
That's great. Any other last minute tips you want to share here?
Tips and tricks. Well, I think that all of us, quote unquote, old dogs, myself being seasoned in this business for a long time, can learn new tricks. If
Sure.
I, if I will, I feel like I evolve every day and I'm doing something different. But I do think we'll say this, like, if you want to grow your business and you want to, I don't know, double your business, quadruple your business, it's really important that you have a strong support group, much like
Yep.
I do myself. Kathy, you are one of my supports at EXP for people who didn't know on the call. It's like Kathy has been my support at EXP for the last 5 years as well. Stephanie's my support at Top Flight. But in addition to that, I would say be organized and have some great processes in place,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but also keep educating yourself about all the great tools that are out there. There are amazing tools at EXP. We have some amazing tools at Top Flight that not only just grow your customer base, but can also grow your teams and grow your revenue streams. With that, if you want to do a deep dive, you know where to find me.
Yep. Well, and everybody's information is going to be in the descriptions below, so you'll be able to reach out to Stephanie, Lindsay, myself. You'll be able to see it all, and that's exactly it. So for everybody that's been joining on here, please do reach out to every one of us here. If you have got questions about EXP, reach out to Lindsay, reach out to Stephanie, whoever you want to reach out to, and get your questions answered because there is more than just that hamster wheel of the
Mhm.
grind on a regular basis. There are options, and the truth is, you need to explore them for your own benefit in your own legacy, right?
I couldn't agree with you
100%.
more.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. And again, stay tuned for the next one because we've got a lot of good things happening here at Real Estate Riches. Let's book a strategy call and see how it would look in your eyes. And if you're thinking, man, I'd like to have a conversation with Kathy Byrnes. Maybe I'd like to be part of this EXP company and see what it's all about. That sounds good to me. Let's book a strategy call and let's have a talk. No pressure, But man, it's worth a conversation. The link's in the description.